you get the formaldehyde?
It's in his room.
Dr. Mahar, must I listen to this every single night?
Go on back to bed, Mr. Red. We'll look after him.
I beg your pardon, nurse. You've been telling me that for months. Doctor, I must get some sleep. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. Luba! Well, Peter, if this doesn't stop you, nothing will. Well?
Something has to be done. I must have had a dozen patients complain to me this morning. They're getting fed up.
They are. Their relatives are starting to phone me at home. You've got to get the man out of here. Elaine, what's happening?
No nursing home will accept him. They couldn't control him any better than we could. That leaves the mental hospital. And his wife refuses to even discuss it.
What about his son?
Miss Karsh seems to have an emotional stake in this problem.
I haven't exactly been sitting on my hands.
We've all been sitting on our hands. Demoff was admitted 7 months ago for stroke rehabilitation. Well, he's been receiving no treatment for 4 months. He's taking up a bed someone else could really use, and he's bothering hell out of the other patients. Even his hospitalization has run out. Now, do you think his family is going to come up with the money to pay for his hospital bed?
You want to put him in the street?
I want to put him where he belongs, in a mental hospital.
Without the wife's consent?
Well, she's never going to consent, so I'd beat her head against a wall. I phoned the mental hospital, and they'll take him if they get a physician to commit him. I'm having an ambulance pick him up at 2 o'clock.
You want me to sign the papers?
You're the psychiatrist. Never mind, I'll do it myself.
The hospital could get hit with a legal problem.
Even the hospital insurance commission says he's no longer eligible for chronic care.
But a mental hospital?
Earl, this is a medical problem, not an administrative one. I say this man requires a mental hospital.
What about the social problem? This Karsh here tells me that Mrs. Demoff is dead set against it.
I've got 100 sick patients to worry about. I haven't got time for a superstitious old lady. Well, do I cancel the ambulance?
Dr. Price, will you back up your resident?
Hey, come on, Mr. Salter. It's me. Remember Lenny Demoff? I'm the guy who tipped you on Texas Gulf. And what about Pine Point? You made a good buck on that. Yeah. Oh, yes. Listen, I'm not trying to sell you anything. This stock has risen $3 a share in the last 4 weeks. Alex McCauley's been in the mining business for 30 years, and he's never conned anybody. You know that. The stock hasn't been erratic, and if you've been keeping your eye on it, you'd know that. We have ourselves a mine, Mr. Salter, and if you don't want in, too bad. I have other people who do.
Temper, Leonard.
Sorry, Mr. McCauley. The guy got under my skin. Erratic stock. You wouldn't know a gold mine if he fell in with searchlights.
You'll get ulcers that way.
I probably blew the sale.
Hardly, my boy. Nothing like good, honest anger to make a man squirm. If I were a gambler, I'd bet he's on the phone right now buying up all the stock he can lay his hands on.
You sure know your business.
Mining, maybe. But not promotion. You're doing a fine job here, Leonard. I appreciate it.
I appreciate the job, Mr. McCauley. You give me a real chance.
Now, don't go getting maudlin on me, Leonard. I'm a businessman. I don't take chances. You're here because you know your business, right?
Right.
Here's the latest report from our engineers. The Montrose property's loaded with anomalies.
Does that mean mineralization?
Looks good.
Can I use this information for promotion?
As I told you, my boy, promotion is your business. By the way, the company has put an option on 2,000 shares for you at $250. As of now, you're up $2,000. I'd hang on to the shares if I were you. No telling where we're headed. Could be champagne forever. How's your father? Well, give him my best.
Thank you very much. Since when has my private life been any of your business?
Since you've been making an ass of yourself with Lenny Demo.
I never gave you credit for a wild imagination.
I don't need one. This guy's taking you for a ride.
I've seen him, and I'm no child. Tell me, is this concern for me or for your hospital? You're a good doctor, Paul. As for a human being. Well, I guess I better phone Mrs. Demoff before your ambulance gets here. I'll give her your regards.
Well, sweetheart, have you made up your mind?
What can I buy?
Oh, a nickel. A whole nickel. Right. 1 chocolate bar or 5 bubble gums.
5 bubble gums, please.
Lil. Mama.
Hello, stranger.
How's the fish business?
And how's your fishy business?
Oh, always with the quick comeback, Lil. You should have been a comedian. Mama, you're not talking.
You need money?
No, why?
You've been here for 3 months.
I'm working on a big deal. Haven't had time to think.
And how about your father?
I saw him yesterday.
Yesterday? And what before yesterday? And a week before that?
Mama, I don't like to go there. I get sick when I see him
How
like that.
about your father? Don't think that you'd like his only son to be with him.
He doesn't know. The doctor said he's...
God knows. Don't tell me. He knows. Just go there. Hold his son. Be with him. He knows.
All right. I'll try and drop in this afternoon.
Try. I'm chained to the store and you said try. You don't do anything all day but talk on the telephone. You said try.
All right. I will see.
With his arms. What big deal are you working on?
Can't tell you. Big. Very big. Hey, Mama, the fudge is too sweet. When Papa made it, you can eat 3 or 4 pieces without tasting too sweet.
I'm not your father. I make it sweet. Why don't you tell me? The FBI won't let you.
Lil, the gold mine.
All for nothing. Are you crazy? You told her last year and she lost $1,000.
Hey, Mama, this is a real mine. I'm not working for some cheap promoter. Mr. McCauley's a respected man. He knows what he's doing.
You like him so much? You do it. Make $1 million and give her back the $1,000 you took from her.
Ah, Luba, I made an investment.
Oh.
It wasn't Lenny's fault.
Invest in fish. At least you can touch it and smell it.
I'll see you, Mama.
Luba, you're too hard with them.
I want to make $1 million with talkings. His father was the same way. Oh, see what we have for all these talkings. 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. So millionaires.
I get it. Pete's Confectionery, who's speaking, please? The social worker from the hospital.
Yes? Yes? Here Mrs. Demoff speaking. What? No! No! Oh, what shit!
Give her the mask.
The ambulance is here for Mr. Demo.
Write up a list of medications from his chart. Send it with him. Tell him I'll send the history later.
He'll be all right.
No, no.
Lady, he'll be all right.
They want to murder my husband. No. Get away.
Mrs. Demoff, it has to be done. Please.
You're watering.
Please, Mrs. Demoff. She'll be all right. She'll be all right.
Don't touch me.
Hello. Hi, Elaine. Oh. What? Will you please take her home? What do you mean she won't let you? All right, put her in a cab. No, I'm going to see my dad. Now, where did they take him?
Demoff?
Here's that patient from Ridgeway.
Your man's dead. What? Papa? He was all right a few minutes. Oh, Papa. A few minutes ago, he was done.
Well, how is it now?
Oh, it's dead man's son took a couple of whacks at him. We had to call the cops. The old man's wife. They're sedating her.
Quite a picnic, eh?
You're not kidding. I phoned the Ridgeway Hospital to tell them about it. I thought the administrator was going to have a heart attack right on the phone.
something with less stench.
It's an old drug, but it's damn effective. We use it as a last resort when nothing else works.
What's this man's name?
Peter Demoff.
What's the matter?
The man's my uncle.
Did you speak to your aunt?
I couldn't.
What about Lenny?
Oh, I got the hospital lieutenant to drop the charges.
Did you speak to him?
Oh, come on, Marty. What difference does it make? I haven't seen those people for 20 years. They're dead and buried.
But she's your father's sister.
Well, you don't understand the situation.
Even a robber gets less than 20 years. What are they, murderers?
No, it's something to do about money. I was a kid when it happened. My grandfather died and divided up his estate, and he left Andy Lou with $1. I guess that's when it all started. Anyway, nobody liked Uncle Peter, and they moved east.
And that's it? All those years over in the state? How much money was involved? How much money was involved?
I guess everybody got about $1,000
$1,000?
Yes, $1,000.
No bloody wonder you can't face her. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. 20 years in Coventry for a lousy $1,000.
Well, it was a matter of family pride.
Pride? Now that's very funny. What right have you got to carry on a family feud that a dead man started 20 years ago? You're too much.
English broad.
You're lucky you didn't break it. What were you trying to prove? I'm sorry. How do you feel?
It hurts.
I should have gone to see you. I should have. I could never talk to the man. Never. All my life, I just wanted to talk to him. So, just talk.
You want me to come with you to see your mother?
Not now. She'd throw you out.
I suppose she will blame me.
She'll blame everybody.
I'm sorry about that. I was hoping we could be friends.
Thank you for coming over. You know, it's funny. All my friends, I couldn't think of anybody to call.
Where have you been?
Walking.
Walking. It means working. Even when he's dead. I saw him. Lenny, the rich man. You and him. Always more. Always the easy money. Thank God for the little soul.
Yes?
I'm Steve Wojeck. Andy Luger.
There.
Hello, cousin.
Hello, cousin.
It's good. Stefan, you are a lucky boy to have a wife who knows how to bake a cake like this. It's true.
She's a good kid.
Oh, you have everything. A pretty wife, a house, not only a doctor, but a city coroner. Oh, I know everything about you. When you were graduate, when you were married, everything that was in the newspaper. Now here, I can show you. My husband and I used to cut out all these things from the paper. He was so proud of you, Stefan. Look.
Lord.
You've got a better scrapbook of you than I have.
Oh, I can tell you stories. Remember, Stefan, when you were a little boy, the chocolate fudge with walnuts? My husband would make chocolate fudge with walnuts, and he would come always before supper. He would take out the biggest piece, and his father will wonder after why he never eats supper. Uncle Peter will never tell.
Well, I hate to disillusion you, Andy Lou, but as much as I liked chocolate fudge, I liked bubble gum better.
Oh.
Yeah. Lenny used to trade me 2 bubble gum for 1 chocolate fudge.
2 bubble gums. A chocolate fudge is worth 5 bubble gums.
I didn't know that, but he did.
Big mouth.
Doing that in the same time. It's not right for me to be happy today. He was a good man, Stefan. A restless man. And a good man.
What happened?
He has a stroke, almost a year. They sent him to a hospital to be cured, and they killed him there.
Oh, you don't mean that, Andy?
Oh, yes. They make him crazy with the needles, and they sent him to the asylum. I said no, but he pulled me away like a dog, and they sent him. My husband.
Well, Bruno?
No signs of over-medication. He died from a subdural hematoma.
What's that?
The blood clot between the layers of tissue surrounding the brain. Any history of a fall?
How recent?
Oh, I'd say the past 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't know. But I'm going to find out.
I assure you, Dr. Wojeck, we tried everything for that man. We even hired a woman at our expense to sit with him. We thought that having company might quieten him. See by his chart the number of specialists we called in to see him. Every one of them came to the same conclusion. Come in. Dr. Wojeck, this is Dr. McHarg.
do you do?
Wojeck?
Did you sign the commitment papers on Mr. Demo?
Yes.
Why?
For his own good and for the good of the other patients. His screaming was a constant irritant.
Well, why is there no discharge note on the chart?
I was busy with another patient at the time. I didn't get a chance to write it.
Did you examine the patient?
I examined him.
Now, you have a note here saying that Mr. Demo fell out of bed 3 weeks ago. The patient struck his head, inflicting a small laceration in the region of the right temple. Skull x-rays were negative. Is that right?
That's right.
And did you place the patient under routine observation for skull injury?
I did. And I don't like getting the third degree about my competence. I know how to practice medicine, and I don't like having some politician in doctor's clothing come around and make insinuations.
Take it easy, Paul.
They're making more than insinuations, Dr. McCarg. Mr. Demoff died of a subdural hematoma, and it's damn likely a result of that fall. Medicine is still the name of the game, Doctor.
I didn't give Mr. Demoff any sedation that morning. He was sound asleep. After all, he'd had 10 cc's of foraldehyde during the night. That'd knock a horse out.
He wasn't a horse. Did Dr. McCarb examine the patient before discharge?
About an hour before.
How thoroughly?
Well, I wasn't in the room, but if you want my opinion...
No, I don't. Did Mr. Demoff have sideboards on his bed?
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to me how a patient who is half paralyzed can climb over the sideboards and fall on the floor?
We once found him lying in the hall. Can you explain that?
Of course we were both up front, Doctor. It was a straight transportation job. There was no emergency.
But there obviously was. The man's dead.
Well, we couldn't take that. When we picked him up, he was sleeping.
Sleeping or unconscious?
This McCauley's just been great, honey. The stock jumped 60 cents a share in the first 2 weeks of trading. That means my shares are worth close to $3,000. The way things are going, it should be hitting $10 by the first of the year. And you know what that means, young lady? Elaine? Forget it. What's on your mind?
Us. How do we stand? Is it just kicks, Lenny? Don't be upset. Just be honest. I'm not knocking the fun life. I want to make sure I've got things in the right perspective. I hope I deserve that.
At least that.
Hi, Lenny boy. Hello. Oh, how's Alex McCauley's right-hand man?
Hello, Cliff. How's the penny stock business?
Well, you've come a long way from the old days, eh, boy? I hear old Alex is even picking up shares for you. Well, word gets around. So you got a big gold mine, eh? You gotta hand it to Alex. He really knows how to dish it out, doesn't he? Gotta hand it to you, Lenny. You're in the big time swindles now.
Goodbye, Cliff.
All right, old buddy. Only, if you're smart, you'll sell your shares and get out while you've still got your skin. It's gonna crash, baby.
Nothing.
Did he kill our conversation or just interrupt it?
Cannot wait until I've completed this stock deal.
Why?
I'm going to be a rich man.
Is that important? Then I guess I'll wait.
This was a stranger who is died. Did you asking his wife what she thought?
I'm not asking Annie Luba. I'm explaining.
Explaining then. And you are doing that for your uncle, Stefan.
checked it out, Arnie. It was negligence. They want an inquest.
Was negligence. It's pretty positive, isn't it? Give me one of those, will you, please? Well, if you've already made a decision, why bother holding an inquest? Why not just take the doctor out and shoot him? Did you ever think that it might be an honest mistake in diagnosis? That does happen, you know.
For Pete's sake, Arnie, the man was in the hospital. A simple observation could have pegged that diagnosis.
Well, did you never make a mistake, Steve?
Well, I hope to God not when they cost somebody's life.
Oh, of course. I forgot. You get them when they're already dead, don't you? Give me one of those eggs, would you?
What are you saying?
Well, what are you saying? You know, Byron told me that this man is your uncle.
What difference does that make?
Well, you tell me. Steve, you've got an emotional stake in this case. That's bad.
I haven't seen my uncle for years.
And you've been living in the same city with him. Coffee, please, miss. You know, if you've got a guilty conscience, don't bring it into the courts. Yeah? Thank you. The law is there for the cold, hard facts.
Well, uncle or no uncle, I want an inquest.
All right, Steve. You'll get your inquest, and I'll be there, but you won't run it.
Is that an order?
Well, let's say it's a strong request.
$1 bill or $2 bills, sir?
One bill, please.
Oh, no, I'll get it.
Dr. McHarg? I've been waiting 20 minutes.
Excuse me. I told you on the phone I didn't need a lawyer.
Maybe not, but the hospital feels it does. They don't want a legal suit on their hands, so I'm your lawyer, like it or not.
What's this?
A summons for you to appear at a coroner's inquest.
This is ridiculous. I gave that patient proper medical care, and that's all there is to it.
That piece of paper is a court order, doctor. We're not talking morality, we're talking legality. You stick to medicine, and I'll stick to law. Now, I want to know the whole story. Moral indignation isn't going to win your case. If this inquest finds you negligent, you can kiss your medical career goodbye.
Oh, hey. A present from your boyfriend.
I've already got one, thank you. And it isn't his idea.
You know the coroner's his cousin.
Yes. And it still isn't his idea.
Elaine, I gave that man good medical care.
You're incapable of anything else.
You know, we could have...
No, we couldn't. We both got what we wanted. Let's keep it like that.
Hey, Marty,
Yes,
you said 5 places.
I know.
Well, there are only 4 of us. Us, Lenny and Elaine, who else?
Auntie Luber.
Whose idea was that?
Mine? Don't look so upset. You know, she hasn't spoken to Lenny since the funeral.
You let people solve their own problems. Andy Luber.
In the street in broad daylight? Yeah. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Well, they seem to be hitting it off pretty well. Yeah. She's a nice girl. Serious about her?
I guess so.
Pretty non-committal. Has Auntie Luba met her yet?
Elaine was a social worker on my dad's case. Hey, Steve. I want to ask you to do me a favor. I know I shouldn't.
Well, the worst thing I can do is say no.
Elaine got herself a subpoena this morning to appear in court. Somebody at your office decided to hold an inquest into Pa's death. I guess you know about it. Anyway, Ma will probably be there, and I would prefer it if Elaine didn't have to attend.
Well, your mother will be there, and so will Elaine. And I do know about it, because I ordered that inquest.
Why?
Because your father died from a blood clot in the brain. And there's a damn good case of negligence against the hospital.
My father was never going to recover from that stroke.
Lenny, I'm talking about medical negligence.
Pa died 7 months ago when he had that stroke. Now, what difference does it make when his heart stopped beating?
Well, it might make a difference to somebody else who's still alive in the hospital.
Oh, come on. I can't argue with idealism, Steve. But I don't like courts and lawyers and newspapers, and I don't like my mother sitting on the opposite side of the fence to the girl I'm going to marry. Just one thing, Steve. Don't do this thing for me, or my mother, or my father. And especially don't do it for yourself.
Lenny?
Thank you.
You know, I think your mother's really going to like that girl. Did I say something wrong? I hope you're comfortable. Here, would you take those down? Oh. Okay.
I'm sorry I'm late. I couldn't get a taxi.
Oh, that's all right. We haven't even started yet.
Oh, that's fine.
What's wrong?
Not staying here. Not with her.
Listen, sweetie, when's the old boy gonna make a statement?
He can't hide in there forever.
Not hiding. He's got more to worry about than your deadlines.
You can say that again.
Morning. Good morning. Morning.
Hey, it's Demoff.
What the hell's going on?
That bottom dropped out of our mind. Something happened. There was a wild sell-off this morning, and the market delayed opening for half an hour. Securities Commission stepped in and suspended trading.
What are we selling at?
60 cents.
Where's Mr. McCauley?
He's not seeing anybody.
Hello, Leonard.
What happened?
Somebody panicked.
What are you going to do?
There's nothing I can do.
Buy up the stock. Invest in your own mine. You have to cover the sell-off.
We haven't got a gold mine.
What do you mean? What about all those anomalies? What about the mineralization?
What mineralization? That was your idea, Leonard. Let's be fair. I gave you a report on anomalies, and you read mineralization into it.
You didn't stop me!
Leonard, boy, you're the expert on promotion. I know nothing about these things. It's an ironic situation. You did your job too well. The stock was inflated.
So I'm the patsy for the Securities Commission.
Nothing of that kind, Leonard. We're in this together, and we'll see it through. Meanwhile, I don't want you to worry. I'll maintain your salary, and you've got a check coming to you for about $3,500. I sold your shares yesterday.
You knew the stocks were going to crash. You've been selling off your shares. Oh, boy, what a patsy. Lenny the dumb Pollock gets out of a rat race and jumps right into a barrel of Upper Canada cow dung. I swallowed you hook, line, and sinker. Alex McCauley, the grand old man of Bay Street. You even know how to steal respectably. You can keep your salary and your big check. I wouldn't touch it. And you know what that means for you, old man? See you in court, sir.
Come on in, Steve. You've met Dr. McHarg. This is Frank Adams. He's the hospital attorney.
Oh, Frank Wojeck?
Sit down, Steve.
What's this all about, Arnie?
Well, you might call it my own brand of pre-trial examination. Or should I say, pre-inquest. Frank and I have been studying this case, and there are some things that we're not too happy with.
Are you trying to say I don't have enough evidence for this inquest?
This isn't a whitewash, Steve, so don't start screaming. Go ahead, Frank.
As I see it, there are three aspects to this case. The first is your relationship to the deceased.
You know these things have a habit of getting around.
You can forget that. It has no bearing on the facts of this case.
That remains to be seen. The second aspect is the transfer of the deceased to a mental hospital. Now, that was recommended by a psychiatrist and was carried out by Dr. McHarg.
And has nothing to do with the case except as a gross example of callousness.
If you'd come down from your lousy ivory tower for just a minute, you'd know there's a shortage of hospital beds in this country. I'm running a chronic hospital service. I have to make the best use of my beds.
And is missing a diagnosis of subdural hematoma the best use you can make of it?
This isn't juvenile court. Dr. Wojeck, you're accusing my client of having missed a diagnosis. Aren't you aware that this diagnosis was difficult to make on a man already half paralyzed and heavily sedated because of his psychosis?
All he had to do was take out his tiny ophthalmoscope and look in the man's eyes for signs of increased pressure.
Well, tell me, how can you see the fundus in a man's eyes when he's got complete cataracts in both eyes?
What the hell are you saying?
It's all there, Steve, in black and white. Your own pathologist reported it.
Do you still say that your relationship to the deceased has no bearing on the case?
Don't look so oppressed.
Depressed is the word.
O or D, it makes no difference. There's not going to be an inquest. Hey. Dr. McHarg just called from the Crown Attorney's office. You can join in a communal sigh of relief. See you later, Elaine.
Thanks, bye. Is Mr. Demoff in? Do you know where he's gone? Oh, thank you.
Hey!
Are you sick? Drunk.
Cold sober. For the first time in my life, I'm broke, Elaine, flat busted, and I couldn't care less.
You are drunk.
So funny. My gold mine turned into a pumpkin, and I didn't blow my cool. I looked at that dignified old thief. I guess some of the dignity kind of rubbed off, and I didn't hit him. And you know what? I feel better for it. I got things to tell you. Come here. Oh. Hey, where are you going?
Home. You asked me to wait until your stock deal was over and you were a rich man. Well, it's over and you're not a rich man.
Hey, does that matter?
Not to me.
Not to me either.
I love you, Chris.
Well, Miss Social Worker, interest you in marriage?
Can I interest your mother and grandchildren?
Maybe after the inquest blows up.
Hey, there's not going to be an inquest. I've been trying to get you all afternoon. It's off.
Steve. Worried. Mama's going to crucify him.
What are you saying, Stefan?
I'm saying I don't have a case for an inquest.
Means a case. But they took my husband to a hospital. They killed him.
I'm sorry, Auntie Luba, but if I'd been treating him, I would have handled it the same way, and he would have died. You must try to understand.
You and your father and your grandfather. Get out! Out! Get out! 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 Out from my life!
Wait, Steve. Mama, you can't do this. There was no way that Papa could have come out of that stroke. You saw him for 7 months. Did you like what you saw? Mama. He's at rest now. Leave it at that. Bury the family skeletons with him.
You are no good. No. Was he crazy? They took him to asylum. Was he crazy?
Go on, Lenny, tell her. What kind of people are you? You always talk around everything. What have you got to be so proud about? When you do talk, you don't say anything. Steve, can't you admit you made a mistake? You goofed. Don't come in here salvaging your pride. Just admit you made a stupid mistake. And you, Lenny, you know very well your father had enough brain damage to put him in a mental institute. Are you going to bow out and let her go on hating because she can't face the truth? Her husband belonged in a mental institute.